What's up, YouTube? What's going on, CCI family? It's your main man back with the game plan, but you already know that. And look, first off, I do apologize for being absent for a moment here, about a week or so, because as Yvette told you, I've been behind the scenes working my you-know-what off to get a lot of things off the ground for this channel. Okay, and again, there's no team with me. I'm doing all mine solo dolo for the moment, and I told you I'm not going to stop. Okay, but I felt that it was a need for me to come up here and speak because of the way things have been going. So we're going to shed the light and the truth on a few, well, on one stock in particular today anyway. Okay, and that's going to be Palantir. All right, PLTR. Now, you know, I've been a backer or follower of this stock for a few years, and I mean a few years. Okay, so I'm going to give you the truth, not the hype, not the fear stuff, okay? Now, because this stock, yes, has been sliding, okay? And for a lot of investors, it feels like kind of getting punched in the chest, you know? But here's the twist. While the stock has been falling, the business has been putting up some of the strongest numbers in the entire AI sector. Okay, and if you've been watching, you know this. In 2025, Palantir generated about $4.48 billion in revenue, up 56% year over year, with U.S. commercial revenue exploding over 109%. Okay, U.S. government up 55%, and total U.S. revenue up 75%. Okay, now they turned that into roughly 1.63 billion in GAAP net income. That's a 36% profit margin, okay? And over 2.13 billion in operating cash flow. That's a 48% margin. So when you see the stock bleeding, remember, the business underneath it all is still a machine. Now, here's the part most people miss, okay? Palantir isn't fighting for first place in a crowded market like some other stocks, all right? They're in a lane by themselves. If a government, a hospital, a manufacturer, or a bank needs AI that actually runs real world operations, not just chatbots, not just dashboards, there's Palantir, and then there's nobody else, okay? That's why their gross margins sit above 80%, operating margins in the 30 to 40% range, and free cash flow margins north of 50% in 2025. All right. They're guiding for 61% revenue growth this year, and they're sitting on roughly 7.2 billion in cash and short-term treasuries. Okay. So whether you're averaging down or starting your first position in this is the kind of company you want to buy during fear, not after recovery. So now let's talk about opportunity, right? That's what we're all here for. When a stock with fundamentals like this pulls back, long-term investors don't panic. So you see, I'm not panicking, not at all. This is a great opportunity. We start planning, okay? You don't chase green candles, you build positions during red ones, okay? You scale in, you buy in zones, not all at once. You feel me? You let the market's fear become your discount. And with Palantir locking in billions in long-term government and commercial contracts, expanding AIP across all industries, and becoming the backbone of operational AI, this pullback is giving you maybe the last chance to build a smarter, stronger position than people who bought at the top. You feel me? So now, of course, I'm going to bring in Miss Yvette to give y'all the more emotional side of this and the more disciplined side. So you'll know how to take your steps from here out.
Thanks, Vince. Now, let's be honest. The emotional side matters also. If you bought PLTR higher, watching it slide hurts. That's where structure saves you. For shares, you size your entries, you add at levels that make sense, and you avoid going all in at the top. For options, you have to be even more disciplined. You set stop limits based on the option premium, not just the stock price. and you tie those stops to real support levels. If your line in the sand is a key support zone, you convert that into the expected premium using delta and set a stop limit that protects you from a wipeout, while still giving the trade room to breathe. That's how you survive volatility without letting emotion take the wheel. So here's how we'll close this out. Palantir the stock is in a rough patch, but Palantir the company is not. The numbers prove it. Strong revenue, real profits, massive deal flow, and aggressive guidance into 2026. If you believe in their future, AI that runs real operations, deep government relationships, and a platform nobody else can replicate, then this pullback is giving you a chance to rebuild a smarter position, or start your first one at prices that finally reflect risk. Just don't do it blindly. Use stop limits on options, define your risk on shares, and accept that watching a great company go through a rough market phase is part of the journey. The goal isn't to avoid all pain, it's to make sure the pain you take is attached to a future you actually believe in. And if today's breakdown helped you see Palantir a little clearer, if it gave you a strategy, a sense of direction, or even just a little peace in the middle of all this volatility, then go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. We're building a community here, one smart decision at a time. From all of us at Chump Change Investments, we hope you have a blessed and financially successful week ahead. And before we go, remember, greatness comes from small beginnings.